undertaking certain practices with an expectation of an outcome, we've caught ourselves in a bind. Meditating, clearing everything, nice clear space, and then, of course, stuff happens because it's the nature of life, nature of the thinking, nature of the conceptual. So there is no, in a sense, there's no end game. There's no future. There's nothing to attain. When we set up a now and a future, we're projecting some kind of notion. So we've created this interesting conceptual split. And in fact, there is only immediacy. And then it's simply what is getting in the way of relaxing into that, if I put it in those terms. And it's the habit. And the habit's neither good or not good, or bad or not bad, it's just habit. And habit's a great word because it's fairly neutral. It's the habit of where we're putting our attention. And we take ownership, my thoughts, my journey, my upset, my suffering, my bliss, my joy, whatever it might be, we take ownership of it. And it recreates this core identity that we imagine we are, which is just a constellation of concepts, stuff we've learnt, stuff we've been told, stuff we've just drawn to ourselves. So the key in all of this work is actually understanding and seeing through this notion of a separate entity. Because reference points arise and subside, it's natural. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a natural part of the functioning. But when we imagine that that's what we are, that's when we get into trouble. That's when we start really suffering. Because something arises, a sensation, a feeling, a memory, something that's happening around us, and it immediately triggers stuff and we don't like it, then we go into battle. So it's this me thing that doesn't like it. It wants it to be different than that and goes into battle. And that's where the drama is, because while we're giving this sensation or situation or upset, while we're giving it oxygen, it actually keeps it alive. And flip it back, who is being upset? Locate that which is being upset. Locate that which is being disturbed or uncomfortable, and not as an idea to find a solution and then, do more further conceptualising stuff with, but locate it almost as a spatial thing. Where is this me that I imagine I am? And explore that really deeply. Go right into it and keep going. And this solid thing that we've imagined ourselves to be starts to get a little bit, wobbly. And it actually reveals itself to be purely a notion, a thought. It's another thought in that thinking stream. And it's as simple as that. It's just a question of unpicking some of the habits.
Which my mind goes to that time-based goal mentality again too. Once I've broken the habit of thinking, I will truly be attuned or aligned with. So again, perhaps it's just more mind games.
But you see that's conceptual material that's coming up.
Yes.
And be very gentle with yourself. Because a lot of this journeying stuff that we imagine we're doing, this quest, is really, it's fraught with lots of blame, self-blame. I'm not good enough and I need to improve. I need to fix myself up because there's an inherent problem. That's a very usual storyline. Notice that all of this stuff is conceptual material that's arising, and it's neither good or not good. It's neither bad or not bad. It's simply conceptual material that's arising, which is just habit. and it's not your habit.
Awareness doesn't have habits.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
sorry.
yeah, this extraordinary awareness, this enlightenment, this wonder, another word for it is ordinary awareness. Just this. Yeah. And you understand that separate eyes seeking for external goal it's like trying to get to the rainbow or attempting to get to the horizon. It's an ever continuing, ever receding journey. So the invitation is to flip it around. And you've done enough reading and have a conceptual understanding that you are that. Everything is that. I'm sure you've heard these words. So act as if they are true. Take on board the notion that you are life itself. That enlightenment is this. Appearing is this. And everything is included. Including the doubts, the habits, the seeking, the problems, the not good enough, the never-ending quest, I've got to keep going, when I do this I'll get that. All of that is conceptual stuff just appearing in this wonder. And it's not separate from or different from it. That's how it is appearing. So start from the end. You are wakefulness itself. That animating spark, that formless presence that creates you and shapes you and moves you is doing everything. And it's intelligent. So rest as that intelligence, that wakefulness. Then anything that appears which seems to obscure it, as Kalyani was saying, see through it. So, do you get what I'm saying? So rather than I'm a me trying to get to that, I am that. And there are stories of a me appearing, which if seen through, simply disappear.
And, coming back to everything is that. A sense of obscuration is the thatness manifesting, expressing as a sense of obscuration. A sense of, when am I going to get this? Is just the thatness expressing in that particularised form. So when there is no discriminating, when there is no labelling, this is good and this is not good, it just is, then that ceases to be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, something shifted just in that explanation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because at its very primary point, when a thought or a sensation or a memory or a feeling arises, we have the habit of instantly labelling it. And we label it generally as something we don't like. Oh, here's that thought, here's that feeling. Or something we do like. Oh, I'm feeling really happy. Whatever it might be. We label it. And then if it's something we want to hang on to it. And of course everything shifts and changes. And as that starts to dissipate, we start wanting to haul it back. And start suffering accordingly. And likewise, if something unpleasant, we deem unpleasant, arises, then again, we're wanting to push that away. Again, we're giving it oxygen. So withdrawing or just starting to undercut the label, sensation arises, it might be irritation or something. And we know from all our past experiences irritation is something we don't like. So just starting to, that's kind of curious, it's interesting. We just unpick, just let that irritation, because it's about, there's always something subtle, me not getting my own way, me not having it as I want it. And if we neither want it or don't want it, then it doesn't have that that sting. You know, it's kind of interesting.